One of my stories today is shocking about a student 4 weeks ago who brought a BB gun. The school officials say he brought a BB gun to school, but there's more to it. One of the students told on him that he had it, and they searched him. Find out what happens next. It's an armed. These topics are armed, so this is the armed edition of Give Me a Break, where we talk about armed teachers and armed employees. Those and more on today's Give Me a Break. Almost a month ago, a middle school student was arrested after bringing a BB gun to school, according to school officials. Another student reported a suspicion to a staff member that and accused the student of bringing a BB gun. And officials say it was quickly isolating a secure area. And as a school resource officer, they searched the student's belongings and took the BB gun, officials said. School officials ought to be reminded that weapons, including BB guns, are not allowed on school grounds. They're prohibited. I mean, no one gets the message. I mean, guns are not allowed. You made me think we have the right to carry a concealed weapon. Yeah, you do if you have a gun license, but this is different. We have a thing. We have a thing called the Second Amendment, which says you have the right to bear arms. But the difference is that you are not. Is that students are not allowed to bring weapons because that's the reason. That's the reason that it causes a school shooting, because of a student bringing a weapon or weapons. And if that happened, one of the things that might happen is students can get shot, you'd be arrested for bringing a concealed weapon to school, and you'd be suspended or expelled for shooting up the school. And that's why you should not bring guns to school. Yes, guns are supposed to protect. Guns don't kill people. Yes, you may be thinking guns don't kill people. Well, yes, they do. Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. But nobody else in their right mind has the right to carry a concealed weapon. But no one has ever heard of this thing called arming teachers. President Trump said that when you go to school, you're going to be killed. So he proposed a plan for all school teachers to carry concealed weapons. That way they can defend themselves. He was mocked back then. If you're trying to see a teacher bring a gun to school, you're saying that he or she has to defend themselves. And just today, Eric Swalwell pushes federal ban on armed teachers. Even though President Trump said we should have armed teachers, Eric Swalwell says that it should be banned. The reason for that is because if teachers aren't going to be allowed to bring weapons, then bring a gun to school, then a student should be allowed to carry a gun. But because during a Martin speech to the NRA headquarters, seriously, there are studies that show that students bring guns to school. Yes, the student has rights. You have the right to report something to the principal if there's a problem. You have the right to stand up for what's right. Not to the person, but stand up for what's right. And in a recent survey from campusreform.org, it said 30% of college students suggested the right was essential. This month there was a survey, and in this survey, 91% of the survey respondents said the right to vote is essential. 81% suggest the right to privacy is essential. 83% of the people said freedom of religion is essential. 94% said agree that freedom of speech is essential. Half of the male students indicated they view the right to own a gun, while just 18% of females suggested the same. 46 and 20% of American Indian, respectively. So that's in on arming teachers. We're not going to get into much detail because this is bad, but we're going to get into a different topic. Up next here, it's about armed employees. We're going to focus on armed teachers. Now, armed employees. There's a restaurant in Colorado that all employees are allowed to carry concealed weapons because in Colorado. We'll talk about that next. I want to ask all the managers in all restaurants, fast food restaurants, even the one where I work at, from Whataburger to every fast food restaurant. This is the question. Would you, this is for all managers, would you allow employees to carry a concealed weapon even though that they're not allowed to? Actually, the better question is, should managers be armed in the workplace? There was talk 5 years ago about a Colorado restaurant called Shooter's Grill. If you don't know what Shooter's Grill is, it's a restaurant in Wrightville, Colorado that has all employees armed. And that line went there almost 5 years ago. And during that time, like, all employees were carrying concealed weapons. I mean, they had to train. I mean, even though that in Colorado you don't have to have a gun license, in some states you do. You want to carry one in self-defense, you have to have a license, no matter what. No license, you don't get a gun. If I walked in and saw something like that, I'd be like, if I took a trip to like Colorado, this is right for Colorado. I would go to this restaurant, talk to the owner, There's more to this restaurant than meets the eye. I mean, all employees are carrying their concealed weapons at their side. I mean, I think it should be a great idea for all managers in all restaurants. So the question is, what happens if an employer allows guns and one is fired in the workplace? I mean, look, the Second Amendment gives us the right to bear arms, and this show we're talking about is all about arms, not these arms. We're talking about armed weapons. I mean, defending yourself. I mean, if people are gonna allow to carry a firearm, they gotta figure out like who is allowed to carry a firearm, what type of guns permitted, firearms to be concealed at all times. Those are the three questions they have to ask. But still, different states, you have to have a license to defend yourself. I think that's fair. I think that's fair, but if some restaurants, they probably don't allow this. If they would allow it, then every single restaurant would want to. Let me tell you, that's what would happen. I think if I were to go visit this restaurant, I think it'd be a cool restaurant. Seriously, I think it'd be cool. But jokingly, but if I were to work there, it'd be cool. A great place to work. It'd be a great place to work. I go over there like every time and forget about Texas. I could just like go live there. And it was also a pawn shop. If you watched Nightline back like 5 years ago, you would understand. As I did. I just love this restaurant. Even though I want to go visit it, but I like any steakhouse restaurant with steaks, all that kind of stuff. There's actually no need to like go to a restaurant and compliment about all of this. I mean, ever since Columbine, all that kind of stuff, you kind of wondered, I think I'd go visit. It'd be a great place for visiting, eating, talking to the owner. I wouldn't mind doing that. Spending my next paycheck, going to visit Wrightville, Colorado. Going over to eat at Shooter's Grill. It'd be nice. It'd be a nice dream. Going over to Shooter's. Talking to some of the employees. Think about it. Give me a break. Live from Rifle City, Colorado. At Shooter's Grill Restaurant. Talk to the owner, talk to the employees. What a hell of a show. Alright, you guys, coming up tomorrow, we're going to have some updates on vandalism because we have technical difficulties with my computer. But the show ain't over yet. It's still going to continue. I mean, let me tell you something right now. No way, no how are students allowed to leave campus to go to lunch in town. Even though school's out, won't be back in for 2 months. I thought that I just get the word out that most of the reasons why kids skip class, I'll tell you why kids skip class. The lunch is bad. Many people have gotten sick because of that. They've been puking, throwing out the school lunch, going in their cars, asking their parents, "Mom, I need food! I need money!" Stuff like that. You're not allowed to do that. I mean, seriously, in my school, we had a shooting over across the street, threats on social media, lockdowns. You guys need to just not skip class. I mean, you guys go to the bathroom, you sign out, and then you go over to your car, and then all of a sudden you come back with Burger King. I bet your teacher's asking, "Where's Jimmy?" Where's Jimmy? He's been gone for like almost an hour. And then one of your friends squeals, he went to go get Burger King. And then you get called, and then you're the one who decided to go skip class to get food. You're the one who gets called to the principal's office. Your parents get called. Your parents get involved in this. You have detention or in-school suspension. And you'll be sitting in there thinking about not ditching school, not skipping school. You need to be in school. That's the whole purpose. You go to school 5 days a week until May, and then you go to get your education. It's that simple. It's really not that simple. You're not allowed to skip classes to look at food. If you don't like the school lunch, just throw it away. If you eat lunch at home, you bring lunch from home. It's not that simple. It's not rocket science. And now with technology, people just get on their phones and have to deliver to the school, Domino's, to taco stand. Even though, yes, we have food places over across the street, but that doesn't do much good. You're not allowed to leave school grounds, period. Without permission. Alright, I think we're back on. I was going to do vandalism today, but tomorrow, but now since we're back online. Alright, here we go. It's on to vandalism. 2 days ago, Red Lake police were looking for kids who vandalized local schools. Police in northern Minnesota, the community of Red Lake, asking for help finding the kids who broke and vandalized a number of local schools. A Facebook post from the Red Lake Police Department, the perpetrators are 11 years old and younger. The images show a group of kids wearing shirts and for masks and running amok in the halls and bus garages of the schools. I think those kids need to be. It's not clear how many schools were targeted, and police didn't specify the nature of the children. It seems the parents are here for the brunt of it, with the police warning they'll be held responsible for property damage. This is vandalism. You can't just go around breaking school property. You be the one paying it with your check. Your paycheck could help. You and your paycheck will help out with what you did. These 4 kids are like doing this. This was days ago. And then this came in today. This is today. This was from today. This was from Clear Lake High School vandalism. I mean, look. There was a broken basketball hoop. This was in California. It was at 7 a.m. There was vandalism in the school gym. I think that you don't ever take my problem seriously. Vandalism is wrong. You don't go over to someone else's place and vandalize, even though if it's just a prank. If it's just a prank, you need to stop. I mean, we do need discipline in our schools. There's there's a lot of bad things happening all over our schools. Gang activity, drug activity, bullying, shootings, vandalism. Zero tolerance. All schools need to have zero tolerance. Like, we don't tolerate this. We don't tolerate that. We don't tolerate vandalism, graffiti, potty mouths, foul language, fighting, roughhousing. Nobody ever listens. Because no one gets the message. If they don't get the message, it just continues. And if it just continues, then this is what's going to happen. The taxpayer, we're going to start to pay for all of our damages. So I say, pay for your own damages. So you, pay for your own damages. That's what I say to all you people who damage school property and expect us to pay for it. We pay for Medicare. We pay for Medicare only. We don't pay for someone's stupidity. If we did, and we'd be held responsible, we waste our tax dollars paying for someone else's stupidity. Medicare pays for everything. But our tax dollars are not permitted to pay for someone's stupid activity. don't know why they did, because they were angry at the school. And also the police said the hoop had been placed in an upright position. Thursdays are going to be worked on. And the staff also reported individuals had keys to the gym. This was like, if it was a school prank, no one was laughing. They'd probably be arrested and sent to jail. The bottom line is, this is unacceptable behavior, and it should not be allowed in school. Like I said, we're going to keep looking at these vandalisms, and in the times to come, we'll have more reports about this. That's going to be a wrap for today, but that's a wrap for today. Until next time, America.